How you guys doing today? Sorry I've been MIA lately. I just have a ton of stuff that I've been trying to get done on the car. I really haven't been wanting to film just because the weather's been crappy, and you know, I really have been trying to focus in on getting the stuff done rather than, you know, trying to film it. And you know, when I film, it takes like multiple takes for me to, you know, get what I really want to say out the right way. So it just ends up prolonging what I want to get done on the car. And you know, I'm really on a time crunch right now, so I've really just been trying to hammer away on all the stuff. So sorry about that, but today I want to go ahead and show you guys how to do a Ctsv brake swap. I'm doing the 6-piston swap for all of you guys that are interested in it. So I'm doing the 6-piston Ctsv Brembo. It's the best budget, you know, big brake kit that that's on the market right now. I really think that, you know, it's a Brembo kit. I mean, if you were to buy like a Brembo, you know, big brake kit, this is essentially what you would get. And it's like for half the cost that any of the Wheelwood or Stop Tech would offer. So I really highly encourage this. I'm going to go over real quick basically what you're going to need for the swap. So Bohan, I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Bowman Customs, I believe. I think it's just forget what the Instagram name. I'll put it down below what his Instagram name is, but he's the one that sells the kit that you can do the swap with. It's a very good kit, comes with everything you need, and it's super simple, super straightforward on the swap. So you're going to need his kit, and then you're going to need to buy 2009 to 2014, I believe, Ctsv rotors. You can either do the 6-piston or the 4-piston kit. I chose the 6-piston kit, so you have to get the 6-piston Brembo calipers. Amazon sells them on Amazon has them online. I believe they're around, I paid $320 per caliper, so it's around $640 for the calipers, plus the kit, which I think Bohan Man whatever sells for, I believe it's like $240-ish. Don't quote me on that. I know that sometimes the price flexes. If you can catch them on sale sometimes. So that's plus, let's say $240. Plus you have to get some rotors, which you can get basically 2010 to 2014, I believe, Camaro SS rotors, or you can go with the bigger ones, which I believe are 14.6 inches in diameter, and those are the Ctsv actual rotors, or the ZL1 rotors. They're a little bit bigger, so the upgrade is very particular on the set of wheels that you guys have. It requires you to have a 18-inch wheel by minimum. Some people say they get away with 17s. I have no idea how they get away with 17s because 18s barely clear the outside of the caliper. So I really highly recommend an 18. If you want to be safe, you can get a 19. So you know, that's something that you can consider. But I ended up going with an 18. But the offset is what kills everyone. It says on the website that you have to have a minimum of 40 plus 40. I think a plus 40 is the minimum that you can have, or if it's a flat face, or you know, I think it's like a full face wheel, which means it's completely you know, flat in the front. I think then you can get away with doing a plus 47. You just got to think that when you're doing this conversion, the hub of the rotor is pushed backwards, and the caliper is so much bigger than your stock one, so it's protruding outward. So when you are thinking about the wheel, you know, you have to get something that's going to be pushed out further this way. So just take that into account when you are doing this swap. The wheels are really probably the hardest part about this whole thing, is just finding the correct set of wheels. I did my clutch SL14s. I did a plus 15 offset, and then I'm probably going to throw on like a 10 mil to 15 mil spacer on top of that. But I already put in a set of extended wheel lugs on the car, so I ended up going with the ARP extended wheel lugs. So I knew I was probably going to need that extra 10 mil spacer on top of it, just because it's a deep dish wheel, and you know, it's kind of sunken back, so I knew that the spokes were going to have a hard time clearing the actual caliper. So just keep that in mind when you guys are doing that. If you have a deep dish wheel, you do have to go with a bigger offset and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and I'll show you guys this first side on how I did it. And then we'll go to the next side and I'll show you guys the complete, you know, conversion kit and, you know, how to, you know, do the whole process. All right, so bear with me with the mess. It's really messy in my little like garage, outside garage kind of tent, but I'll show you guys the process real quick. So I already ended up, sneak peek, I ended up cutting the fenders on the GTO, and I already have the fender flares on it. So this is it. So it's a Brembo 6-piston caliper and a 14-inch Camaro SS rotor. I went with the slotted and drilled rotors just because it's racing and I needed to basically, you know, have something that, you know, kept the brakes pretty cool. So I went with this kind of setup. You know, it's a very easy process and I'll show you guys how to do it. Just like, I want to stress like how much this thing, how big this thing is. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell with this, but basically the caliper, where the caliper sits, it is basically flush where the it's almost flush with the fender. So that's how big these calipers are on this car. It is ridiculous on how big they are. So just make that a, you know, a mental note when doing this swap. That's basically what you're gonna have to go off of with you know, when you do like a wheel and tire setup on it. So yeah, so let me go ahead and show you guys the other side, and we'll get to doing the swap. Oh, I went ahead and already removed the old caliper off this. If you guys have done a brake swap, you should know how to do this already. It's really simple. It's 2 bolts on the caliper that remove the caliper. Then you're going to go ahead and remove the brake line right here, and just go ahead and have like a bucket there just so the brake fluid can drain out. Oh, and then side note, before I forget, if you guys have an 04, you are okay with using these brakes, these brake lines. If you don't have an 04, you do have to get extra, like steel braided or just extended brake lines. The 05 to 06 have shorter brake lines. Don't know why, but yeah, you have to end up getting new brake lines if you have the 05, 06. If you have a 2004 like me, you are okay with using the stock brake lines. I guess that's one thing that's beneficial about having a 2004. Everybody else, you know, all the 2005, 2006 guys, sucks for you guys, but extra money for you. So yeah, so I went ahead and removed the caliper, removed the bracket already. That's 2 bolts here, and I ended up, what you have to do is you have to grind, or it says you have to do a lot of cutting on the brake shield, the dust shield. I ended up just removing it. I'm not really too concerned about it, so I went ahead and ground off the little rivets that they have on it. So there's 3 rivets, and then I cut it in half, and it kind of just pulled off by itself, or I pulled it, like bent it off. It's really simple to do, but yeah, I recommend just removing them in general. I have the extended wheel lugs here. I haven't actually set them in place. I was going to do that just now. I have this little tool. I don't know if you guys have ever done wheel lugs. Basically, there's like this little spot right here where you can take a hammer and just hammer it out real quick. You pop the lug nuts off, and then it's gonna be kind of like awkward. It'll basically like sit like this, and you kind of have to like hammer it past this little lip, and then it'll just slide right in. So yeah, so they're super simple to do. I highly recommend doing this on any car, really. Even if you're not doing it, just, you know, lug links are really important. They hold your wheels on. You know, I don't want to be going down the freeway, or if you're racing the car, be racing and a wheel flies off because a wheel, like all your wheel lugs broke. So yeah, just really important. I always highly recommend doing this. I haven't done it yet, and you know, I kind of kept beating myself up. They're kind of expensive. They're about 30 bucks for a package. That's one wheel, that's one side, so it's about 60 bucks for the front 2, and I think it's about 25 a piece for the back, so it's like 100 and something bucks for the set. But they're really worth it. ARP makes really high quality studs, especially if you're doing like spacers or anything like that to make the fitment you know, precise. So what I'm going to do is you're going to take this little tool. It basically allows you to spin the lug nut, because you're going to take an open end, make sure it's an open-ended lug nut, and you're going to thread it on, and basically like this, and then you're going to basically impact it on, and it's going to pull the lug nut, it's going to pull the stud this way, and it'll basically seat itself. It's super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and knock all 5 of these. I'll show you guys one, and then probably just do the rest off camera real quick, so then we can get to the actual brake upgrade. Put this over the lug nut, or the lug stud, like that. You're going to go ahead and thread this on. I always like to get it at least pretty much as far in as you can get, hand tight. It's kind of hard doing this with one hand, but we'll get it done. So this is hand tight now, as tight as I'm going to get it. So then you're going to want to make sure it's pretty straight like that. You're going to go ahead and put the impact over it just like this, and basically go to 10. When doing this, make sure that when you see, I don't know if I can see right there, make sure you how you tell it's really good is that it's basically flush right there, if you can see my finger. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep Alrighty, so this is go ahead, and this is basically as flush as I'm gonna get it. And it's not going anywhere anymore, so then we're gonna go ahead and just back it off. Just like that, and we're done. And that is a fully put on lug stud. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of them, and I'll get back to you when we're gonna start the conversion. All right, so the first step in doing the conversion, I went ahead and finished this up. So now we're gonna do the conversion kit, and the first step is to put this bracket. This is the bracket that I think it's just or it's 4G63 whatever makes. It's a really nice, really well made, I think, aluminum bracket. It is seriously top-notch quality. So what you're gonna go ahead and do is basically fit it on like this. From what I've read in the past, I guess people have had problem with like clearance issues on the knuckle. I don't know if he like redid the design or whatever, but I have not had to grind anything down on this knuckle right here. It literally just pops right on. So what you're gonna want to do is he includes these little, I guess, spacer type things, bushings. He allows you to use these stock bolts for the bracket. So these go ahead and just kind of slide into these guys right here. What did I do with the other one? There's the other one. So what we're gonna do is basically slide those in just like that, and then we have a perfectly well, oh shoot. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. I'll show you guys in a second, and then we'll get to I'll show you guys what to do next. So what you guys are gonna do is we're gonna take some medium strength thread locker, gonna put it on the bolts, and what we're gonna do is slide this bad boy on the bracket just like this. I think I dropped the other bushing between my legs somewhere. There it is. So what we're gonna do is put that one in place, put it on, start the thread. that one's on. Go ahead and put on some more medium strength thread locker onto the next one. Find that one. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get my 19mm socket and get it on my thing. I'm going to tighten this bad boy down. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, this bracket is now in place. I'm gonna probably go ahead and tighten it a little bit more with a wrench, and then go ahead and put this down. Make sure you guys do use the medium strength thread locker. This is pretty important. You don't want the bolts coming undone. So this is in set. Next step is to get the actual caliper and put it on. And then I wanted to mention, you guys, so when you go ahead and put the rotor on, he includes these basically rotor bushings, I guess you would say. They basically slide over the wheel studs like this. I guess the wheel studs on the Camaros are a little bit thicker, or I don't know, the holes are bigger, but I don't know, these kind of just make up and let the rotor sit really nice and tight. What the other thing you have to do with the rotor is you have to get it clearance to the right hub size. I guess the hub size on the Camaro or CTSV are like 67.9, I think, or something like that, and this is a 69.6. I took it to a machine shop, cost me 40 bucks, and he basically drilled the hole out and made it perfectly fit on there. A super nice fit. I really highly recommend that. You can do like a Dremel and stuff like that, but it's kind of, I just feel like if you take too much off or anything, I don't know, this is like a really important piece, and you know, this is a safety piece. This is your stopping. You don't want anything going wrong with it. So I'm just gonna spend a little bit extra money, spend the 40 bucks, and I'll get it done the right way. So did that. So go ahead and put these on, and then the next step is we're gonna put the caliper on. We're probably gonna put the rotor on, and then we're gonna put the caliper on. So let me go and grab those things real quick, and then we'll put those on. Alrighty, so what I went ahead and did and put on the rotor, I mounted some lug nuts just to hold it on in place. As you can see, like these rotor bushings basically just fill in the gap and just don't allow it to wiggle. Really holds the rotor right in place, nice and tight. So what we're going to do next is basically mount the caliper to the bracket back here. What you're going to want to go ahead and do is he actually includes in the kit brand new bolts for it. So what we're going to do is put the washer on, put some medium strength thread locker on, and then we're going to go ahead and throw on the caliper onto the thing. So let's go ahead onto the rotor. So
let's go back.
Let me go ahead and get that done, and I'll get back to you guys in a second. And mounted the caliper. Next step that you have to do is you have to switch over the crossover tubes and the bleeders from the bottom to the top. So we're going to go ahead and knock that out, and then we're going to go ahead and install the pads, and we're done. I told you guys it's really simple. It's a lot harder than it looks. Really, you know, I think it blew me away on how easy this was. So let's go ahead and finish. I'll swap these crossover tubes up and the bleeders to the bottom, and then we'll go from there. And then swapped over the crossover tube and the bleeders to the top. The bleeders to the top, the crossover tube to the bottom. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to install some pads real quick. Like I said, these are the pads that we're gonna be putting in. They're ceramic pads. Got them from AutoZone. Pretty good stuff. Pretty cheap. So yeah, so let's go ahead and slide those in. I forgot to mention before I forget that you do have to order basically a pin set. It comes with like the pins and all that you need. So you're gonna have to order those. I just got the AC Delco one. It's pretty simple on Amazon, I believe, like 20-30 bucks. So you're gonna have to order that, and everything's included. So what we're gonna do is gonna go ahead and throw this in. Probably not gonna film it just because it's a simple brake swap or brake job. You know, nothing too complicated. So gonna go ahead and throw those in, and we'll wrap up this install video. Yeah, so let me go ahead and finish this up. And installed the brake pads. That was the last piece, and this install is now done. I'm gonna go ahead and bleed the brakes later, maybe in another video, but that's about the only other step that you would need to do since we did deplete it. Make sure that when you guys do reinstall the brake line that you have that brass washer on it. It's pretty crucial. Keeps helps from, like, you know, leaking brake fluid everywhere. So that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know a lot of the people on the internet really have been looking forward to a video that explains this whole process. I hope I was able to do that and help you guys out. I tried my best. It's, you know, I mean, it's a super simple thing, and you know, the guy that sells the kit really explains well in his instructions that he sends you when you buy the kit. So yeah, I really highly recommend this kit. And it's a really big upgrade for these cars, especially if you're racing them. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. I think the next video will be either me racing the car, because we do have a race this weekend, or it might be installing these fender flares. I might do that tomorrow, or I might not do a video on it. It's super simple. I'm just kind of riveting them on, and that's basically it. There's 1,000 videos of, you know, doing some fender flares. Super simple process. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel, this video and my channel. I really, you know, would encourage the support and, you know, the backing. You know, we're a pretty new channel, so I'm not super concerned, but yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe if you want to catch up on all the upcoming videos. I got a ton coming out since it's going to be starting to get better weather, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.